Good evening. I'm Christine Johnson.
And I'm Jessica Moore. Today marks day 6 of the government shutdown, and the Senate, which took the weekend off, is now back in Washington continuing negotiations.
Here's a live look at the floor now. The Senate expected to hold a procedural vote again in half an hour on dueling measures to fund the government and end the showdown. The bills fell short of the 60 votes needed for a fourth time last Friday. Speaker Mike Johnson canceled plans for the House to return to Washington this week, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer argued on Sunday that a shutdown will only be resolved with a meeting between congressional leaders and the president.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said today the government shutdown is already affecting air traffic controllers, and we just learned there are delays currently at Newark Airport because of staffing issues.
Investigative reporter Tim McNicholas was there to ask him about the shutdown's impact on air travel.
The federal government says it's dealing with an increase in sick calls in some parts of the country from air traffic controllers who are working without a paycheck until the shutdown ends. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy did not reveal where, but described a, quote, slight tick up in sick calls.
There's been, one facility one day, another facility another day. Some areas there's been a 50% reduction in some of the staffing. And again, we're tracking it, and we take the appropriate action necessary to make sure our skies are safe.
Duffy and the head of the Air Traffic Controllers Union visited controllers at Newark Airport Monday. There are still flight restrictions in place at the airport due to staffing and equipment issues earlier this year. The U.S. Department of Transportation has warned the shutdown will delay efforts to rebuild the country's outdated air traffic control system and that it could add more stress to controllers.
Someone was saying, well, I might have to pick up Uber. I work 6 days a week in the tower. I might have to pick up some Uber jobs. So then they come in and work tired, exhausted.
Anytime people are doing work and not getting paid for it, it should be a concern for everybody.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about it. We're asking these people to do something that's so vital. And how do they feed their families?
The Port Authority, which runs Newark, JFK, and LaGuardia, has also warned that if the shutdown drags on, it could lead to delays and severe operational challenges.
What would your message be to passengers who are concerned that their air traffic controller is going to be stressed about missing a paycheck on top of everything else that's happened here at Newark?
If we see there's issues in the tower that are affecting controllers' ability to effectively control the airspace, we'll reduce the rate. And you'll see more delays, or you might see a cancellation. I'm willing to do that before we're willing to risk anyone's life in the air.
You might remember during the 34-day shutdown back in 2019, an increase in sick calls from TSA agents led to longer wait times. And that shutdown finally ended just hours after an increase in sick calls from air traffic controllers. At Newark Airport, Tim McNicholas, CBS News, New York.
And the current shutdown could also put food assistance programs at risk for millions of families. Funding ended September 30th for programs like food stamps, known as SNAP, and WIC, benefiting women, infants, and children. Until new funding is approved, they are relying on reserve funds, and that money could run out in the next 2 weeks. And that could mean millions of families go hungry, infants especially vulnerable.
Or really young children whose sole source of nutrition may be infant formula, the loss of WIC would be absolutely devastating because their families don't have other options.
Since October, SNAP benefits have already been sent out. November assistance could be at risk. Around 42 million people depend on SNAP, and 6 million low-income families receive WIC assistance.
Earlier today, I spoke with CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, about Americans' overall thoughts on this shutdown, what they're most concerned about, and how no one is immune from criticism.
What they're concerned about here is the potential impact on the economy of the shutdown. You see, most folks are concerned, including almost half, who are very concerned. And the way that then connects is when I simply ask folks how each of the players here are handling the shutdown. President Trump, congressional Republicans, congressional Democrats. What you see is all of them are underwater.
We have continuing coverage of the government shutdown and the impacts. You can see more of Anthony's exclusive polling at cbsnewyork.com.